guests here. This is Shania Shea.
Oh, nice.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yes, hallelujah. And her husband, Derek Forston.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
so welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Thanks,
guys
Annette.
for allowing me to tell your story. It's an amazing story.
Definitely.
Yeah, as I shared with our audience that, Live Talk with Annette is not something new for me, but coming here to Florida, transitioning from South Carolina to Florida, and meeting you and so many others, which is going to be a whole new podcast. But your story is special to me, and you both are special to me. Meeting Shay when we did, both serving on the worship team together. Effortless relationship just evolved.
Yeah.
It just happened. And, those are sometimes the best relationships. They're easy to maintain, and it's just not a whole lot of work.
Right.
So I appreciate you guys allowing me into your beautiful home.
Welcome.
It's
welcome.
absolutely
Appreciate
lovely,
it. Thank you so
absolutely
much.
lovely. But you guys have done something that I think is fantastic, and I think that people should know about it. I love the fact that you all are African American, millennials. In the climate that we're in right now, this is definitely a good story to highlight. And so all of those things are things that I'm really proud of, very, very happy about. You're both believers. I think that's
Yes.
definitely
Absolutely.
something that's important to share as well. So we're just going to talk about your story. I want you guys to relax and, just have a little fun with it, because you guys are fun. And I want people to experience you as well as your story. So now, so Derek, you kind of started this all off.
Correct.
We had dinner a few weeks ago, and I got some new information. you know,
A lot changes over time,
listen,
that's for sure.
husbands and wives are the funniest dynamic I think on the planet. You don't get all of the information until you get the both of them together. So you guys will find some of that out, but. So you kind of started all of this off with an idea and a passion that you
Correct.
have in your heart. So tell us a little bit about that time back in, was it October 2019, I think, when you started actually open the business?
2018
yeah.
was
18.
actually when we started it, and believe it or not, my background is social work. So for a long time, I worked in the mental health hospital. So basically, all I did was refer people out to group homes. That was a part of my job every day, sometimes 6-7 days a week.
So now, who are the people that we're talking about? There's a specific demographic.
Correct. So I worked in the mental health hospital. So obviously this population would be your mental health population. People that suffer from depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, things like that.
Okay.
So again, 6-7 days a week, my main job and focus was actually to find these clients placement. A lot of time they came to the facility for treatment but didn't have anywhere to go.
Okay, so they were homeless.
They were homeless at
Okay.
that point.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And homelessness is not kind of what most people think it is all the time, right? It's not that guy outside with the sign that says, hey, I'm homeless, I'll work for a bite to eat. Homelessness also can be from just people that are living from couch to couch.
Right.
They're couch surfing. They don't have a physical address. So we saw it from that spectrum all the way from that guy that was underneath the bridge and didn't have anywhere to go. So
Okay, and you found a lot of people to have mental challenges that were homeless, that did not have a place to call their own.
Correct.
A part of their issue was their mental instability.
Correct.
Okay, so you worked for a facility that would help to place individuals like that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So,
so tell us a little bit about some of the things that you would see working without, calling names.
right, absolutely. So as the social worker, when the clients would come into the hospital for whatever reason, it was usually due to a mental health issue. So a lot of the things that we did see, the homelessness oftentimes connected to their mental illness. An example to that is this, right? The parent, the loved one, the husband or the wife just over time says, you know what, I'm done with this, you're out.
Yeah.
And then for that reason, sometimes that's when they become homeless, and that journey starts for them being on the street. Then somewhere along the line, they'll end up in a hospital.
Okay.
And then from that hospital, they meet a nice social worker like me,
Yeah.
whose job 7 days a week sometimes was to get on that phone and to make sure by the time he or she is discharged, had a place to go. So that's what I did for a long time before entering into what we do now.
All right. So how did it affect you? What were some of the things that you saw that kind of positioned you to do what you do now?
Wow, that's a good
Yeah.
question. it really broke my heart because a lot of people don't understand. Although I was a social worker, I never saw the inside of a place.
Right.
As a social worker, I sat at a desk. I had a sheet of paper with about 10 to 20 places on it. Whereas again, when we met those clients at a treatment table, something like this, 5, 6, 7 days a week, and they're spilling their story out to us, telling them everything they've been through and where they are now, my job was to find that, right? So again, I never saw the inside of a place. So when God gave me the idea to say, hey, Derek, you know what? Let's be the guy on the other side of the fence now to house the people versus working a 9-to-5 job, sending these people to a place. So I said, you know what? Okay, got it. Let me go and see what these places look like.
Yeah.
Because I never saw one, right? So one Saturday, I got in my car and I went. I knew all the addresses, right? Because again, I'm the social worker that was sending these people. And Lynette, I tell you no lie, when I opened that door and I saw the first facility, it broke my heart.
Wow.
I couldn't understand why the conditions were like what I saw. The rats, the roaches, the filth, the grime. Like, and you will hear people say things like that sometimes, but I actually saw it.
Yeah.
And then again, like, I was like, wow, this must be a fluke. Let me just go to another one and see. Maybe it's just this one.
Yeah.
And this is the one that I tell people that really broke my heart because when I went into this house, same conditions. But what I noticed, I opened the door and immediately I saw about 10 to 13 people right in the living room.
Wow.
I was like, wow, why are there so many people here? And as I'm looking around, one of the guys in the corner says, sir, please tell me you're not here to bring anybody else. Because
Wow.
obviously it was so full. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And I'm telling you, I just saw 10 to 13 people in the front. So it blew my mind. First of all, why is there so many people in here? So as I began to explore the home, one of the bedrooms actually had a lock on the door. So now we're talking about a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with again 10 to 13 people. And I was like, wow. So I opened the door and the first thing I noticed that none of the beds were actually sitting on rails. They were on the floor. The mattresses were just stacked up like three sets stacked up 3 high. There were no sheets, no pillowcases, no comforters, just a bare mattress on the ground. A lot of the mattresses had holes in them. As roaches are running in and out of that mattress, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Wow.
I continue to tour the home and I run into a young lady that I, myself, had just referred there probably a couple days before that. Again, I never saw the inside of the place. I'm a social worker that has a sheet of paper that calls these places, hey, I got a girl named Suzanne, will you take her?
Right.
Yes. That's kind of all I saw. This young lady that I saw, I was like, oh my God, you live here? And she was like, in other words, of course I do. You sent me here, Derek.
Right, yeah, wow.
I was like, you know what? I've seen enough so far, but show me where you live. Like, where is your bed? Where is your accommodations? She went around the corner and she started headed like towards the kitchen. I was like, why are we going towards the kitchen? The bedrooms are here. Guys, this lady showed me in front of the kitchen stove. She was sleeping on a mat about 4 inches thick, about 4 feet long.
Wow.
In front of the kitchen stove.
Wow.
I was like it broke my heart. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And just as modest as she was, I asked her, I was like, how much do you pay to live here? She said, my family pays $750 for me to be here.
Wow.
In front of the kitchen stove?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that I saw that I said, you know what? I got to figure this thing out. Because if this is the way that me as a social worker, this is the way that people are living and I'm sending them there, I got to change this some kind of way.
So it putting yourself on the other side, kind of empathizing with the people that you were sending to these facilities.
It broke my heart.
It put a whole nother level of compassion.
A whole
that compassion of the Samaritan who was passing by and saw this person in a challenged position. You know, that's
and for me, there was no way that I could have been in that role. Referring people out to these places after I saw it. There was no way.
And not make a
from
change.
That day I said, man, I got to change this. Like we have to change the whole outlook on what people even think a group home looks like, smells like, and what it's supposed to present like. And God has just been so good that now we have a product that's unbelievable. That people are trying to actually mimic it now. So
that's great. It's a wonderful business model, but I thought it was important for people to know and understand that it has a lot to do with passion and compassion.
Absolutely.
And it's not about dollars and cents. At the end of the day, if this isn't something that you like, if you don't really love people,
be in your heart, man.
It's got to be in your heart. And you know, and I've been with you guys at some of your open houses, and that's one thing that's consistent, at least that's consistently said with everyone. You have to have a heart for this.
You do.
You can't just be on the ins and outs.
Exactly.
And so Shay, tell us what it was like being married to this man who would come home with these different experiences, talking to you about it. Did you have times where you encouraged him and had to say, you know, babe, let's see what we can do about this?
I did. Derek was, he was just focused. He had this idea. I didn't know what the need was. I didn't really know it existed. And he would talk about it every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
So one day he up, like he said on Saturday, I'm off from work and I'm thinking we're going to hang out. I'll be back. And I'm like, can I go? And he's like, no, I'll be back. And I'm like, oh, okay. And when he came back, his posture was completely different.
Wow.
We sat in the other room at the kitchen, and when he walked in, he was there and he was slumped over and he was just focused. And I'm like, well, where did you go? So then that's when he actually told me the story, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And we never talked about it.
Let's back up to something that you said. You said that this was something you did not know existed.
I didn't.
And I think there are a lot of people that are watching that don't know that this dynamic exists. You know, we kind of clump all of the homeless people together, and without even realizing it, we just kind of shrug them off and just think that, you know, it's their fault they're in the situation they're in. But you guys have realized that there's a little bit more to the story than what people assume about people that are homeless. So I just wanted to bring that out, that it's something that a lot of people we just don't think about it. We think that, you know, it's their fault, but there's another side to this. And you guys were able to get in there and make a difference. And you're absolutely making a difference. Homelessness it's almost a pandemic here.
It is.
It's huge. And here in Florida, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And then with the COVID-19 thing around, that's just not helping at all. The need for this is tremendous. And that's also what a lot of people didn't know. The need for, like Shay said, like she lives with me and didn't know the need. You know, because I didn't talk about my work a lot.
Sure.
When I worked at Park Place and that hospital for those 9 years, like, I never talked about the work a lot. It was so much. A lot of time it was like heart-wrenching, like the kind of stories that I heard. Like, you'd be amazed of some of the stories that I had to sit and listen to at that treatment room table. So, but again, there was no way I could work in a place like that and see the need of the housing portion and not get involved in it.
And God knew you had that heart. I just don't think anything is happenstance in the life of a believer.
Right.
I don't believe that at all. I think everything that happens in our lives is intentional. It will lead and guide us to our purpose. Okay. All right. So we're about to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about your story. But now go ahead and give us the name of the business.
Okay. Second Chance Housing LLC. That's the name.
Now, how did you come up with that name?
So when I kind of got the idea to do it, I was like, what can I name it? And I came up with all kinds of stuff. And then the thought came to my mind, Second Chance Housing, because my thought process was this: well, whatever I name it, right? Or however I structure it, people have had a lot of mess ups in life, especially with this population, mental health, and they've had chance after chance after chance. So I kind of came up with the motto: once you meet me, I don't care how many times you've messed up, this is today your second chance. And I came up with Second Chance Housing.
Love it. That's great. That's great. Do you remember any of the other names that you had?
Oh, wow. I had names with freedom in it. I did things with stepping stones in it. All kinds of stuff. But the Second Chance Housing
You know what?
just stuck.
I just had this thought. maybe those are names of the tiers in your program. You have a tier that's called Freedom. You'll have another tier
Could
called
be, you never
Second
know.
Steps.
I still have a lot of that stuff actually written down,
Yeah.
like my old
Yeah.
notes before I really got started.
Yeah.
So you never know.
So I'm working with them, you guys. And we're going to build out an entire
Yes,
program
absolutely.
with
Yep.
Second Chance Housing
Absolutely.
and Angela Denise Foundation.
That's right.
And that's where we will start when we come right back.